Hello and welcome back to another video. Now most of you know that I've spent probably the last 25, maybe even 30 years converting work vans into luxurious camper vans like the one I'm sitting in right now. And over the period of those years I've fitted countless amounts of solar panels to roofs of vans along with the MPPT charge controllers. I've installed DC to DC charge controllers, voltage sensing relays, inverters, you name it, I've done it. I've gone from lead acid batteries to AGM batteries to LiPo 4 batteries, and now I use power banks. And the reason I use power banks in the van is because although I've got all that experience, I've never really managed to make a neat electrical installation. For some reason all my wiring tends to end up looking like birds' nests. So over the last few years I've been using power banks in my van because after all they are a plug-in and play device, and I've always said to people, keep things simple, keep things safe. So if you want a nice safe electrical system in your van, a power bank is definitely the way to go. But up until now I haven't really managed to find the perfect power bank for a camper van. They always seem to be missing one element or another. That is until Bluetti brought out the Apex 300, and I've been using the Apex 300 in my Mercedes Sprinter probably for the last 3 months, pretty much all summer, and it has performed flawlessly. I'm really happy with it. But now that the summer has come to an end, the nights are drawing in, the sun is really low in the sky, the solar panels on the roof of my van simply aren't going to give me enough power to keep my Apex 300 charged up, especially because I'm using it not only to power my camper van but also my workshop as well, and I will need to start using lights in my workshop. So I'm really going to be relying heavily on the Apex 300 in my camper van for power, to power me through the winter as it were. And the solution I came up with last year was to use EV charging ports, and I found one in my local Tesco's car park which is absolutely perfect. The problem is you're not supposed to park in an EV charging bay to charge up a diesel camper van. So for that reason I go to Tesco's on a Sunday afternoon after 4 o'clock when it's closed. But this means I can only use the EV charging port once a week, and I'm really worried I'm not going to get enough power into my Apex 300 to last me all week. So I'm sure you'll understand that when Bluetti contacted me and said, hey Mel, would you like to try out our new expansion battery, the B500K, I jumped at the chance. After all, the B500K has got over 5,000 watt hours storage capacity, which will almost double the capacity of my Apex 300. But what I'm really dying to find out is how long will it actually take to charge the Apex 300 coupled to a B500K expansion battery. But first, before I go rushing off to the EV charging port to try this out, I do actually need to install the B500K into my Mercedes Sprinter. Luckily it is simply a plug-in and play system. So let's take a look at the new B500K expansion battery from Bluetti. It is a beast, I can tell you. Now I did say it was a bit of a beast, so here it is. This is the Bluetti B500K expansion battery, and as you can clearly see on the front of this, there are no charge ports, there's no USB, there's no 12-volt cigarette light socket, because basically it is just a battery. That is it. All you've got on the front is an on-off switch. If we switch that on, you'll see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 indicators there, so you've got a visualization of the state of charge of the battery. It is literally just a battery, and to connect this up to the Apex 300 you have 2 ports around here on the side there. So that's because you can actually connect this up in series. You can daisy chain them to the Apex 300 and have a couple of these connected up, giving you huge amounts of storage capacity. Let's take a look at the cable. Where did I put it? Here it is. So here it is. This is the cable you're going to need, and Bluetti do supply this cable with every unit. Now it's a simple matter of pulling the cap off, lifting up the flap, and these aren't round, they've got a flat surface on them. It really is foolproof. Just simply plug it in, and me just turn it a little bit to the side so you can see what I'm doing, and then slide this into the lock position. Now once it's locked in, it makes the connection, and that's it. It's as simple as that. It couldn't be easier. Right, so all I need to do now is actually install this into the van under the bed next to my Apex 300. Then we'll pop off to a charging station, see how long it takes to charge. Right, let's take a look at this. So I've got 19% state of battery charge, which is great because this means it's going to be perfect for this experiment. This is at almost 20% charge. The B500K is at 20%, so they're kind of level. So when I go to plug this in, we'll get a real time and a real feel for how long it's going to take to charge these batteries up using an EV charging station. Now, just as a matter of interest, I've actually got 56 watts of solar coming in, and it says here at that rate of charge it's going to take 3.6 days, so 3.5 days to charge this with only 55 watts coming in. So you can see I really am going to struggle this winter if I don't charge this up using an EV charging port. Now I know a lot of people out there are probably thinking, why do I need to use an EV charging station to charge my Bluetti? Well, the barn, my workshop, simply doesn't have any power. It is completely off grid. There is no electrics going to this barn. That's why I rely on my Bluettis to keep me going. Right, so what's left for me to do now is actually get the B500K battery down under here, connect it up to the Apex 300, and I'll show you how simple this is going to be. I'll be right back. Now ordinarily I wouldn't have the Apex 300 and the B500 in this orientation. You can actually fit either the Apex 300 on top of here or this one on top of this one, because the tops of these are actually scalloped out, and underneath the battery pack there are these nice rubber feet, and they do fit really nicely and snug on top. This is a little bit heavy. I'm a little bit height restricted. I don't really fancy trying to lift this up and get it on top of here, so for this experiment I'm simply going to leave this down on the floor. Right, now let me show you how easy these are to connect up. First I need to unplug my hub 1, which converts all the which gives me all the 12 volt power inside my van. This is an add-on accessory to the Apex 300, and I think the Bluetti come up with this idea because after all the Apex 300 is designed so that you can use it in a house, and coupled with this battery I'm pretty sure you could power a modest sized dwelling. Because people buy these for their houses, they don't necessarily need 12 volts or cigarette light ports in a house. So like I say, to keep costs down and to make it more user friendly, I suppose, they've done it like this so you can add these accessories to it, but also you can add this to other power stations as well, as long as they're expandable, of course. And when I installed the Apex 300 into my Sprinter, people were asking me, well, if you plug the hub 1 into the Apex 300 expansion port, how are you going to connect up an expansion battery, because then you won't have anywhere to plug it in? Well, that's another reason. The expansion battery has got 2 ports on it, so you can actually plug the expansion battery into the Apex 300 and then the hub 1 into the expansion battery. You're kind of daisy chaining them all together. Now just a quick note about the plugs. You can see there is this lock-in sliding mechanism, so once you plug these in you do need to slide this up to lock it in place, and once this is locked in place the release button will no longer work. So if you want to unplug these you need to unlock it and press this release button. You can see it's got like a little catch there. And because it's got this locking mechanism, it means it will only go in one orientation. You really can't get it wrong. Okay, let's plug this in, switch it on. So we plug it in, lock it into place. Same with the expansion battery. Oh, tape cable's a bit twisted. Lock it in, like that, and now they should connect. Don't forget the hub 1, exactly the same thing. We plug that into there, lock her in place, and that's it. It's as simple as that. We've now doubled the battery capacity inside my Mercedes Sprinter. Really simple. Now the great thing about this is during the summer, when the energy is plentiful, when the sun is in the sky, I don't need both of these batteries. I don't need to drive around with all this weight in my van. I can simply take this one out, put it in storage, and during the summertime all I need is this one. But for now, for the winter, this is most definitely going to come in handy. Right, what's my state of charge now? It's now saying I'm at 22%, you see, because each of these are at 20%, so it combines the percentage, and it's now saying 22%. Oh, I better turn this back on, otherwise my fridge will defrost. Okay, need to put this somewhere safe, and then we can drive off to an EV charging station and see how long it takes to charge these up. Yeah, I don't really fancy lifting it up on top of here. So I think I'm just going to put it side by side. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. Okay, so here I am at my favourite charging station in Tesco's car park, and you can clearly see I've not actually parked in the EV vehicle parking bay. I've parked one over next to it, which isn't an EV parking bay, it's just a regular parking bay, so therefore I'm not actually breaking any rules. I've just parked one over and I've plugged in. I've got a solid green light, which means I am actually getting power going into the Bluetti Apex 300 right now. So let's jump in the back and see how much juice we're pulling. Now the great thing about the Apex is you can actually control how much juice you're pulling from the national grid. At the moment we're pulling 1,400 watts, but if I flick this switch down to turbo, 2,200 watts, so that's 2.2 kilowatts of power going in, and it says here it should take 2.4 hours to charge, and it is actually now 13:42, so we're going to leave it 2 hours and see what we've got after that. After all, I think you're only allowed 2 hours parking in Tesco's car park. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to have a little wander around just to check and make sure I don't get any parking tickets. Well, I've been for a little wander, I've had a bit of a shop, I spoke to a member of staff, and apparently there is no parking restrictions here, so I'm safe to stay. It's been about an hour now, so let's take a little look and see how much charge we've got in just over an hour, I think. Now, as a little side note, you can see the charge indicator lights on here are actually flashing or pulsating up and down. This is an indication that the B500K is actually getting a charge. Right, how are we getting on? Let's take a look at the screen. Oh wow, we have charged quite a lot, quite a considerable amount. We are now over 50% charged, and it's saying we've got 1 hour and 0.4 to go, so another hour and a half to go. So that's about right, really. I'm quite impressed with that. And we're still pulling 2.2 kilowatts as well. Not bad at all. Happy days. So I think what I'm going to do is actually have a spot of lunch in Tesco's car park. Now, before I do settle down and have some lunch, I just want to say a quick thank you to the sponsor of today's video, which is of course Bluetti, and they've been kind enough to give me a discount code to pass on to you to help save you some money, and that code is BLUETTIMel. And also they've got an up and coming Black Friday sale with discounts over 50% on some of their products. So if you want to save yourself a pretty penny, go check out their website, use my discount code BLUETTIMel, and you could bag yourself a bargain. And of course I will leave a link in the description of this video taking you directly to their website, purely for your convenience. Right, I'm going to have some lunch now. I've actually been sat here editing the video for your entertainment. So if you enjoy watching my videos, please do give this video a thumbs up. And if you so feel inclined to, then hit the hype button. It's a new feature here on YouTube. It helps small content creators like me grow their channels. It lets YouTube know that you enjoy my content. I really would appreciate that. Thank you. Right, I'm going to carry on editing. I'll give you an update in a minute. Put some lights on. It's getting dark in here now. I just realised. Oh, don't you just love those winter nights when they draw in and it gets dark? Creeps up on you unawares, doesn't it? Unawares, unnoticed. Right, let's get back to this. Well, we've just gone past the 80% charged mark. It is actually 81% now, and the time is 15:59. So exactly 2 hours and 20 minutes to get to just over 80%, which I don't think is too bad considering we're charging nearly 10,000 watt hours of battery. It's pretty impressive. I'll take that. That's quicker than I thought it was, and it's saying at the bottom now it's going to take another 36 minutes to get to 100%. Now usually, in my experience, when you charge a power bank or lithium batteries, when they do get to 80%, the amount of power they draw in is reduced, and it's usually the last 20% that takes the time. But the Bluetti is still drawing 2.2 kilowatts, and the solar is now 0. Yeah, it's not even, well, it's just turned 4 o'clock now. It's literally just turned 4 o'clock and we have got no more solar. Don't you just love those autumn nights? Right, carry on editing. Oh no, disaster has struck. We're at 86% and it's stopped charging. Don't know why that is. I hope I haven't run out of credit on the charging station. Right, I found a culprit. User error that was. I stood on the cable under here and I must have pulled it out with my foot, because the power cable comes from my plug socket along the floor under here and into the Apex 300 through there, and it's, yeah, I basically unplugged it by mistake. I must have trod on it or something when I was relaxing in my seat. There you go, 86%. We're at 2.85, well, 2.2 kilowatts still charging, and it says hours left, 0.5. Oh bugger. So we're not going to get a true reading now. That's a little bit disappointing. What I'll do, I think I'll just knock 10 minutes off. I don't think it was that long ago. Oh, what a plonker. Anyway, we're back going. Yeah, I must have just caught that cable with my foot. I'm going to have to change that somehow now, so it doesn't happen again. Oh well, there you go, user error. The other thing that really interests me is how much has it cost me to get 10,000 watt hours of power into these batteries. So we're going to wait till it gets to 100%, find out how long it took, and then in the morning I'll work out how much it cost. See you in a bit. There you go, it's turned 100% at 5:15, so it's taken 3 hours and 35 minutes. 3 hours and 35 minutes to charge from 20% right up to 100%. Now do bear in mind, I did kick and unplug it by mistake, so I think we can afford to knock 5 minutes off of that, so I'm going to call it 3.5 hours to charge right up to 100%. But like I said earlier, the big question is, how much did it cost? But I'm going to do the maths in the morning, because it is 5:15. I need to get out of here before I get a parking ticket. I'll see you in the morning. Well, I know it's only been a split second for you, but believe it or not, it is now the very next day, and it's a beautiful sunny day as well, which is pretty ironic because I'm actually getting a lot of solar power energy coming in to my Bluetti, despite sitting in Tesco's car park last night for 3.5 hours to charge it. I guess that's what you call ironic. But anyway, my app has updated itself. I can now tell you what it cost to charge my Bluetti, and more importantly, how much power I actually managed to draw in and how long it took to charge. So I didn't really need to keep such a close eye on the time either. So starting from the very top, I managed to draw 7.4 kilowatt hours of power, and it cost me a staggering £3.26. I don't think that's too bad, and according to my app it actually took 3 hours and 45 minutes, but I'm still going to call it 3.5 hours. After all, I did stand on the plug and unplug it. Oh, here's the offending article here. You see, it's only a 3-pin plug, and it did come out of the back of the Bluetti quite easily. So if you're using one of these, do keep an eye on it, make sure you've got it plugged in properly. Now the great thing about the Apex 300, you can, or Bluetti are going to bring out a direct EV charging cable that does actually plug directly in to the Apex 300, and as soon as I get one of those I will make a video about that as well. I'll do a video update if you like, and we'll try that cable out as soon as they are available. Now, as you know, I've made a lot of videos about Bluetti in the past, and I do get a lot of questions. Some of them are quite common, so what I'm going to do is film a Q&A video dedicated to Bluetti. So if you've got any questions for me, then leave them in the comment section of this video, and I will do my best to either answer those questions directly or add those questions to my up and coming video. But please do keep them fun, light-hearted and respectful. I'd really appreciate that. And on that note, if you enjoyed watching this video, you found it mildly entertaining, slightly informative, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra for now. Let's knock 10 minutes off. There we go. 100%. Oh my god. Plug it in like that. Oh, my table's gone. Oh no, table's broke.